Hey guys, welcome back to another review today. This weekend, we're having a lot of different summoning events going on, and all these summoning events are these dual champions because it's Valentine's Day, right? We're having all these summoning events for these couples, basically. So today I decided to make a video making a tier list of all the duels in Racial Alliance. I will be going over all these couples or duels in Racial Alliance and showing you guys my opinion about them, whether they're good or not. So it's gonna be a fun one. Alright, let's get into it. Yeah, I think I will have to use tier maker. So as you guys can see here, we have tier maker here, and I have all the dual champions here. Alright, we're gonna see if they're good or not. I will be evaluating them together, not really as a individual champion, but as a duo together. So first is Teodor and Marichka. Everybody knows about them. There's no question about them. These two champions together right now is insanely OP. Actually insane. Alright? And the best thing about these two champions is you don't have to make them go together. Each individual champion is top tier on what they're doing. Teodor, an HP nuker, the best HP nuker in the game, and Marichka is support, and she is known for her revive skill, I believe, in Arena, and she is probably one of the best reviver in the game. Alright, and this passive is super annoying. And what she does is she's gonna make Teodor to ally attack when she use A1. And what Teodor do is if Marichka is hit, Teodor is going to use that A2 ability on the attacker, which is insane. This hits super hard and puts a stun, right? So these two champions, I think in terms of how powerful they are in Arena, I think this duel has surpassed Siphi and Rotos as of now. But keep that in mind, Siphi and Rotos received so many nerfs throughout the years, alright? But if I have to compare Teodor and Marichka to Siphi and Rotos back in 2020, I think 2020 version of Siphi and Rotos is more powerful than this two, alright? But I don't know how many of you guys played Racial Alliance back in 2020. Like, Siphi and Rotos is invincible, right? Basically invincible. Then we have Minaya and Khoronar. Like I said, I think like in this video, I will not be looking at like these champions individually, but rather looking at them as a duo, right? I think they are usable, not like crazy good, unfortunately. Especially Minaya. Like, Khoronar is good on himself, but Minaya, like, if you don't have Khoronar, you just won't use Minaya at all, right? You just won't use Minaya at all. I don't even remember Minaya's skill kit, unfortunately. But I just don't think you're gonna need this champion very much. She doesn't really provide you anything. Like, rather than some healings for sure, right? Oh, okay, a block debuff on allies under increased defense. So a little bit weird. Yeah, I think Khoronar is way better, and by putting Minaya on the team, Khoronar is always gonna counter attack. But the thing is, Khoronar doesn't hit hard enough. So the only place I can think of that you might be able to use these two are lower end Arena and Doom Tower waves, and that's pretty much it. Alright, and then we have these two, Belanor and Zavia. These two are 100% PvE champion. Everybody agrees, right? These two are just not for PvP, and they're good at what they're doing, right? And I think not long ago, Belanor got a buff, so this is an AoE now. AoE decreased defense weaken, right? Pairing with Zavia, what he does with Zavia is he's gonna activate Poison Ring, right? And Zavia is also gonna activate one of his skills. So it's a good champion. But honestly, like, if we're talking about endgame dungeon, you still wouldn't be using these two together. Yeah, for endgame dungeon, it's either Seer or like Poison Detonation, something like that. You just won't use Belanor, right? Zavia is good for the Poison Detonation, but Belanor you're not gonna be using Belanor in dungeon. And in clan boss, you're not really gonna be using these two together. So the only place I can think of is Doom Tower Waves. But they're just more useful than Khoronar and Minaya, in my opinion. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. The next duel is probably forgotten by a lot of people because they're not that good, in my opinion. There's Astralon and the Countess Lex. A lot of people don't realize they even exist in the game, right? Astralon, sure, I made a couple Astralon video on my channel, but like his skill kit has to do with Countess. It's very tiny bit, right? Like Countess Lex will team up attack on his A1, and Countess Lex, I haven't seen a video about Countess Lex in the past 2 years, probably, right? And she got a really solid rating. That's amazing. She was a guaranteed champion back in the days, right? I don't think she's really an arena champion because like this type of debuff, it can be blocked, right? And I've seen Boomer made a video about her running Fire Knight 25, which is quite interesting, right? And what she does to Astralon is remove one random debuff from Astralon, and this champ is started at start of their turn. So yeah, I don't think they're that useful. The only place I can think of is gonna be Doom Tower Waves, right? For sure they can be used in arena, but I don't think you're gonna need both of them in arena. You probably just take one of them in arena. It's impossible to bring them together in an arena team, right? You only got 4 slots. How are you gonna put them together? And next one is gonna be Cupidus and Venus. It's known by everybody. These two are top tier. Not as good as Taris and Marichka. Right? Not that good, but it's pretty solid. Especially when their rework was first done, probably like half a year ago. They were top tier. Everybody in Platinum Arena were using them. There were not a consistent counter to them until the Baron change, right? Before the Baron change, Cupidus and Venus team are so hard to deal with, right? Cupidus is protected by Necrit. You just can't one-shot them, stuff like that. And they can be used anywhere. You can use them in dungeons, in Hydra, which a lot of people in my clan use this duo in Hydra, right? And you can use them in Doom Tower. They're just super good. HP burn here, right? Yeah, they're just really good. But in Arena, I think ever since the Baron rework, Baron can ignore the shield, right? So Baron can easily one-shot a Cupidus. That's why we don't see it that much nowadays in PvP, but still pretty good. Alright, next we're gonna have Cardiel and Siphi. Again, in this video I talk about them together, not really as individual champion, but as a duo. Cardiel is top tier in PvP, and Siphi is top tier in spiders or in PvE. So they just have completely different usage. That's how I feel. I've never seen anybody use these two together, ever, right? They're both top tier, they're both great in what they're doing the best, right? But you just don't see them working together ever, right? That's the problem. So I still put them like at A tier because I think both of them individually are super good. So working together, I assume they're also super good, but I just don't see them working together at all, right? If Cardio is on the same team, heal all ally, I think this part just doesn't really help you that much, right? You don't need like 3% healing in dungeons, but I mean, they're really solid. Okay, so next one is gonna be 2 male character, Konstantin and Vlad. These 2 champions, I think if we look at them individually, they're kind of good. Maybe roughly at average. They're both like average void legendaries. Sorry, Konstantin is probably average and Vlad is a little bit below average. And I made a video about them last week, right? I was testing Vlad because Vlad just got a big buff. The problem is, Vlad, it's just impossible to use them together in arena. Like, the reason being is, Konstantin is a nuker, right? And if we take a look at Vlad, Vlad is also an attack-based champion, right? He also hits hard. And all these debuffs requires accuracy. So are you gonna build accuracy or are you gonna build damage? If you build damage, just don't even hope for these to land. These are not gonna hit. You're not gonna have enough accuracy, right? And in a PvP team, it's just impossible to bring in 2 attacker. It's just so hard to do. Usually it's three support champion and 1 attacker. That's your arena team comp. Bringing 2 attacker, it's just really hard to do. Like, that's why I can't really bring them higher. Like, they are attacker, which means they are really designed for arena, right? You can't bring them together. That's the thing, right? And then next we have Khoronar and what's the name of this character? Honestly, forgot. Khoronar and Jamasa. Okay, Jamasa. I think these 2 are pretty solid. They're not really arena champion, but they're really good at PvE. Alright. And I think this is a free champion, basically a free champion referral program. You can play your ult. It will take like 3 months for you to get him. If you play it daily, just waste your energy on the ult, and after 3 months you will get him. Alright. So this is a AoE HP burn character, and he can like instantly activate HP burn. This is really good. This is like a ninja's ability. And like if these 2 champions work together, every 5 skills being used, he's going to use this skill, alright? So it's really good. He does insane amount of damage in Hydra. Like up until this point, I still use him in my Hydra team. He does a lot of damage. So I don't think he is like S tier yet, because the place you can use him is very limited. Pretty much only Hydra or Doom Tower waves, right? I don't think you need HP burn in dungeons, except Spider, right? So I think the A tier is good enough for them, right? Alright, next one, Siphi and Rotos. Okay, Siphi and Rotos. I think I'm gonna put them here at the moment. Maybe right behind Terrace and Marichka. Like I said, if we're talking about unnerved version of Siphi and Rotos, they are the best. Siphi and Rotos were probably the most broken champion that have ever been added to the game. Pre-nerf. Like, you guys know how broken Rotos was? So this skill used to ignore 75% of target defense. So like if you have a Savage set, you don't even need to use Helm Smasher, right? And the enemy killed by this skill is instantly block revived. It doesn't have a single condition here, right? Right now it has a condition, but back in the days it doesn't have a condition. Right? And back in the days, there was no reaction accessory. There was no Stone Skin. There was no Necrit, right? And which means in 2020, if your Rotos manage to get a turn, you can just delete 1 champion of your choice, basically. Just like that, 1 hit and you delete 1 champion and they stay dead. That's how broken they are, alright? But now, I think they're still good, but I think probably a little bit behind Marichka and Terrace, right? So yeah, that's just my feeling about these 2. Still really broken, right? And Siphi, this used to be like 3 turns cooldown after book. They increased this cooldown by 1 turn, and this part used to be 15% healing. Yeah, Siphi was like one of the best healer in the game, right? And then we have these 2. Probably a lot of people also don't know they're actually a duo. Euros, Soul Cage, and Rian the Conjurer. Yeah, these 2 champions are a little bit complicated. Like about Euros, I think Euros is like a PvE champion, right? Not really a PvE champion, but rather like you only use the champion in Scarab King. Like, where else do you use him except Scarab King, right? And Rian the Conjurer, a buff removal. Rian the Conjurer has a buff removal, so I think I made a video about him. Sorry, he's... oh, okay, so he's Dark Elf. Dark Elf, Rian the Conjurer. Yeah, I made a video about him. I think he's pretty solid. like this AoE buff removal and a revive, but you're just not gonna use them together. That's the problem, right? Like AoE buff removal, 3 turns cooldown, pairing this buff removal with some champion, with some attacker that can ignore defense, it's really good. Like 25% weaken is really good, right? But yeah, B tier is what I can give them. You just don't need this duo together, right? Both of them are kind of like support champion, and if we look at any other duo in the game, it's like one support, one attacker, but both of them doesn't have any damage. That's the issue, right? And last one we have Yumeko and Corrado. Yumeko is one of the best in the game. Like I think most of my clanmates are saying that Duchess right now is the #1 champion in Arena, and Yumeko is probably #2, right? And then it's probably Marichka. Yumeko is too good right now. She is too good, both offense and defense. And Corrado, what's good? There are people in my clan that use Corrado, but the problem is he doesn't really hit it hard enough. Especially after so many good nukers appear in the game. We have the Baron rework, we have Georgid, right? So you're just not gonna need Corrado. You're not gonna need Corrado. Great nuker, by the way. So if I have to look them together, they're probably behind Cupidus and Venus. Still S tier, but behind Cupidus and Venus, because like if you have to use Corrado with Yumeko, yeah, you should probably just choose a better nuker. Cardiel is solid, top 10 probably, but like if you have top 3, why go with the top 10? Right? So yeah, these two are good. Corrado was a fusion, Yumeko, void legendary, hard to get. So yeah, I think that's basically it. Do you guys agree? These are basically my thoughts about all the duels in the game. This tier list is based on like if you have to use them together, not really look at them as individual champion. Alright. The best is Terrace and Marichka. That's how good they are. But they were just being released not long ago. Who knows if Plarium are gonna nerf them or not. It took Plarium like 10 months to nerf Siphi and Rotos. So we're gonna see if Plarium are going to nerf Terrace and Marichka after 10 months. So we're gonna see what happens. So that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoy it. And I will see you guys in a video soon. Bye.